All right, let's get into it. I am often accused of meandering too long and not getting to the point, so let me get right to it. Bill Burr is a fucking fraud and a phony, and everything he's ever said is a lie. I've finally turned on this guy. I defended him for so fucking long, and I took so much shit for defending this just complete hypocrite fraud. And it's not merely going to Riyadh. I don't have enough feelings or emotions or thoughts about that comedy festival to really take a hard stand. It's like we talked about with Tim Dillon a couple weeks ago, where Tim Dillon kind of made the point of like, people can get outraged by this, but really they're just reading headlines that our media is feeding to. Like they haven't gone over there and experienced it. So it is all kind of, finger waving morality bullshit to some degree. And I feel that way when I think of like Chris DiStefano and Mark Normand and Sam Morrill over there. Like, I assume they'll come back on their podcast and they'll talk about it and they'll make fun of themselves and be honest. I don't have a hard stand. Like, if you go to the Riyadh Comedy Festival, I hate you forever and your career should be over. There is one man that I feel that way about, and his name is Bill Burr. And that is because I listened to this asshole talk about billionaires and greed. And he literally went on national television and yelled, "Free Luigi," 10 months ago, that was. And I said through all of that, I was like, that's what Bill Burr does. Like, people were trying to say his politics changed because he criticized Elon Musk. And I said, no. He's always criticized government and people in power and billionaires. That is what Bill Burr has done for years. He has called out greed and hypocrisy and all that stuff. And then he did the most embarrassing podcast I've ever witnessed. And I'm on a show with fucking cartoons, and I'm saying this. He did the silliest, most ridiculous podcast that has ever been done. Where if you think, like, and by the way, comedians are the ones that like should be getting the most shit for this. Like with Live Golf, I don't think Cam Smith has ever espoused theories on why Mariah Carey's a piece of shit for performing for Gaddafi or whatever it was. You know what I mean? Like, the golfers don't have these deep theories and tell you how you should be thinking and consider themselves the modern day philosophers. That is why comedians are getting so much shit for this, because they've essentially preached to you, a lot of these people. And Chappelle, and even guys I like Louis included. Good for David Cross for calling them out by name, where he was like, he said Chappelle, Jim Jeffries, Louis, Burr. He's like, I respected you guys. And you have literally sold, when you talk about selling out, what they sold is their ability to talk about any topic remotely related to this in the future. Which, the reason I'm focusing on Bill Burr today is that's his entire fucking act. Is calling out hypocrisy and all this bullshit that he has pretended to care about for 2 decades. It was all a lie and a ruse. When you watch this ridiculous podcast that he did on Monday. So this is him talking about his experience in Saudi Arabia.
Yes, and this is his audio-only podcast, so we just put a picture up of Bill Burr.
Yeah, they put it up on YouTube, I guess. But it's the audio version. But let's hear it.
And everyone was like ridiculously excited that there was going to be stand-up comedy there. And this is what's amazing about the arts and stand-up comedy is comedians have always pushed like the boundaries. And this was like a classic case. Like, I guess.
Oh, yeah, it really is, man. That's pushing the boundaries. Performing for a sultan. That really is. Listen to what he says the boundaries are that he specifically didn't push. What a fucking fraud this guy is. And I'm legitimately hurt by it, because to all the people that are like, oh, you're defending Burr, like, I believed in the guy. And that's what makes this so, even Pete Davidson, who pissed on his father's grave by going over there, I didn't think of Pete Davidson as a guy who embodied truth and a guy who was really saying something. I never felt that way about Pete Davidson. Like, Bill Burr, like, as a kid, like, for lack of a better term, I looked up to him, and I think a lot of people did, because you looked at Bill Burr as a guy that was saying true things that you really believed in. This is like if George Carlin performed for the fucking Pope. You're like, wait a minute, what? Like, so it was all bullshit? Listen to him talk about pushing boundaries, this pussy.
Just tipping the cap to the people that set up the festival over there. When they first went to set it up over there, the rules on what they had about what you could say and what you couldn't say in Saudi Arabia, the people running the festivals will be like, all right, well, man, that's game, set, match. If this is like all you can talk about and you want some good comedians, like this isn't going to work.
Yeah, I bet a lot of people brought up
to their
Jamal Khashoggi, right? That's who you're tipping your cap to, the people that fucking murdered him. You fucking joke of a human being. This is comedians pushing boundaries because I guess at first they said you can't talk about the government, religion, and other stuff. And the comedians were like, I don't know if that's going to work. And they said, all right, just the government and religion. Listen to what this fraud is saying. Comedians pushed boundaries.
Credit, they said, all right, what do we got to do? And they just negotiated it all the way down to like, you can talk about anything, other than a couple things, which was basically, religion, don't make fun of the royals. And other than that, it was all everything.
Yeah, just don't make fun of everything you would want to make fun of. Don't make fun of religion, which is basically everything in this country. That means you can't make fun of their thoughts on gay people or women or any of that stuff because it all is encompassed by religion. And if you want to make fun of the rules over here, well, one pesky little other rule. Don't make fun of the people who make them. You can't make fun of our laws or rules or any code we live by over here because the diplomats are going to be in the audience. Wouldn't that be? it would hurt their feelings if you made fun of them. This child, Bill Burr, he's talking about how he has a gay joke about a guy at his gym or something, and he's like, could you believe they let me tell it? Okay, talk about a gay guy that was raised over there, Bill. Talk about someone who was born gay that has to oppress that under threat of beheading. Would they let you talk about that? You fucking joke. Like, it's so ridiculous. And maybe because I defended this guy way longer than I should have, that this is all built up now. I thought for sure. I probably wasn't going to talk about. It's not like I would have defended if he went on his podcast and was like, I know a lot of people are questioning it, but I went over there. Admittedly, like I did it for the money, but it was actually a better experience. Blah blah blah. Like we're gonna see Louis basically do that. And my thought on that at the end of the day is like I'm not in that position. You know what I mean? But Bill Burr, we now know, thanks to Tim Dillon, who's another hero in all of it. Like, I know Tim's probably still going to get shit if he ever talks about Gaza or whatever. People are going to call him out because he accepted that money. I don't know if this was Tim Dillon's plan or just a happy accident. But Tim Dillon kind of gets carte blanche now because of the jokes he made. I don't know if he would have gone over there and done the same thing, but Tim Dillon made jokes about slavery and beheadings and the way they live. And he did that before he got there. I assume to test the waters, or just because that's how he is. And they said, we're not going to have you on this. So Tim Dillon kind of gets, to some degree, the credit that Shane Gillis is getting. Now, good for Shane for just being like, I don't need this. You know what I mean? Like, why would I do it? But anyways, thanks to Tim Dillon, we know how much money these guys got. My estimation, the last time we talked about this, was that I said Chappelle probably got like close to $10 million. And Bill Burr was like 4 or 5. That was my guess.
Damn.
Well, hold off, Casey. The most anyone got was 1.6 million.
No.
And it's like, that's what you sold your soul for? Because a lot of people are doing this. People are like, I would do that, probably. You know? under the conditions that when they went, it was pretty much guaranteed that I was safe and first class accommodations, all that type of shit. For $1.6 million, I, Blind Mike, am doing that. Bill Burr, he plays Fenway Park when he comes to Boston. That's a night of work for him. I don't understand, 3 weeks if he does arenas? Like, how quickly are you making up $1.6 million? You could sell another hilarious special for that amount of money, Bill. I don't understand. That is not life-changing money for these guys. For these guys that, how many yachts do you need to jet ski behind, Bill? For these guys that talk about greed and stuff like that, it is shameful that's the amount of money. Because I remember even thinking when Tim Dillon said 375,000, I was like, that's a little low. Again, not low for me, but Tim Dillon, that's like a few weeks of road work. You know, I don't get why that's the amount of money for you to be a PR person for a nation. These assholes gave Tony Hinchcliffe so much shit for doing a political rally. They're like, oh my, that's so lame of Tony to endorse a politician. They gave Rogan and Hinchcliffe and Theo Vaughn and all these guys so much shit. And I'll grant you, I do think it is there's a lameness to that, to endorsing a politician, or Tony Hinchcliffe saying he thought he was going to change 200,000 votes or something. Like, that is kind of lame. But then for you to go and be the spokesperson for a country that has slavery. You know what I mean? And listen, I get, we don't know what life is over there. That's why I say I'm speaking out of ignorance. But these people that pretend to have morals, and Bill Burr talks about how evil every billionaire is, and cheered when a guy got mowed down in the street last year and said the guy that did that should be freed. Basically called him a hero. That's what Bill Burr said about someone in this country. And he went over there and performed for princes that had a guy killed because of journalism, because he was reporting things. That's something that Bill Burr fails to mention while he's talking about how great this is.
Mike, greed is a funny thing. You know, I've seen grown men with mortgages and probably a lot of money saved, like jump and cheer for a $1.99 super chat. Like,
Yeah.
It's that instinct. Howard always said that some people can't say no, and that's why he wasn't selling Bill O'Reilly cups and stuff. I just think some people can't say no. 1.6, add it to the stack.
It's amazing, just out of selfishness, that Bill Burr didn't see how bad that is. Go to his YouTube comments. It is everywhere. I've never seen the country so united on an issue. Every comment is, you fucking sellout. I'm done with you. And this is where, like, that's why cancel culture bothers me. Like, the idea of rallying people to cancel someone. No, this is something that's so clearly wrong that everyone individually is like, you know what? Fuck this guy. Like, he's just not, he can't ever talk in a way that anyone trusts him ever again. Like, we all came to that conclusion by ourselves. You didn't need someone to rally us and protest or anything. Look at those YouTube comments. It's wild. And Bill Burr doesn't address any of it. I mean, let's play the clip. We haven't heard enough from this asshole yet.
You know, religion, don't make fun of the royals. And other than that, it was everything was like open.
Except for just everything they stand for. Other than that, have a ball. Have a great time. I don't make fun of any of the stuff that people are calling us out for, you know? The entire David Cross's entire point, don't mention that at all. Don't tell anyone why Shane Gillis isn't at this event. Like, just ignore every fiber of your morality. But aside from that, go to town, baby. And Bill, do you sorry, go ahead.
No, it's like if the Belichick roast happened and you're like, all right, can't talk about Brady, Kraft, or the 24-year-old. Go.
And it would be like, no, it would be like that. It would be like saying, don't talk about any of this stuff with Brady. And then Bill Burr getting on the next day and going, they were lovely. It was good. What a great experience that was. I'm so glad they did the roast. It was tremendous.
Really got him.
Yeah.
Great energy is this next one here.
Oh, it was just a swell time over there in Saudi Arabia. It was palpable. It was so fun.
Such shiny machine guns. Oh, wow.
And
he's about
I
to
could just feel like
notion.
these
Oh, it's a peaceful place.
Yeah.
Place of peace.
fucking people, the people, okay, they want a fucking show. You could feel it. I was talking to the other comics. You could feel it. They wanted you to push, right? It was really fucking exciting. So I go up on stage.
But hey, I'm sure they did. Oh, and oppressed people wanted to. No shit, Bill. I bet if you went to North Korea, they'd be eager to hear you say something other than, boy, your leader, he's a heck of a golfer. I'm sure that energy would be there. The issue is not with the human beings there, you jackass.
I start doing my shit, and they're fucking into it. Everything's going good. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm checking out the diplomats as I'm doing this stuff, and they're all fucking laughing. All right, so I'm going to push a little farther. And all of a sudden, I start getting in the zone. Well, Billy's feeling loose up there. And my brain just goes, gay Jim.
And so then he mentions earlier, he's like, I got a joke about a guy at my gym who's gay or something like that. And he's like, can I say it? Are my words so powerful that I can't even mention them? So this is him pushing boundaries in Saudi Arabia with his gay gym joke.
My brain goes, don't do that. And then I said, fuck it, I'm going to do it. So I started doing the joke, and it fucking murdered.
What a bad boy. Hey, now then you get into the beheadings and stuff, right, Bill? You get into how you're not allowed to be gay there, right? That's totally that was the next thing, and then they all said, "Oh, Bill, we've been doing it wrong. Now we understand." And you changed all these minds, or you just told a joke about a gay guy at your gym, and they were like, "Ha," and that was the end of it. He's celebrating like he changed things, and again, I'm not even shitting on Saudi Arabia for their beliefs. Like. It is a world that I have never been to nor understand. Like, whatever their beliefs are on gay people, that's their business. It's a different culture. What I'm saying is Bill Burr talks about our oppressive government and preaches to us about how these people over here are bigoted. And it's like, you went over there, and because you said the word gay, you're like, problem solved, baby. You're patting yourself on the back for that? That's what I didn't expect. I thought there would be some level of shame. I didn't expect Bill Burr to come back and congratulate himself for what an amazing job he did over there. I thought there would be some level of humility and being like, hey, I took the fucking money. You know, it was a lot of money. You'd all do the same, you fucking sheep. You know? Like, I thought there would be some level of reflection or self-deprecation or something. Instead, he is congratulating himself for, I don't know, being a hero? A hero of the Saudi Arabian people?
I think it's even worse than that, Mike. I think part of the money is contingent on not only doing the thing, but talking well about...
Yes, this is what they're paying for.
Yes, they're paying for the PR afterward.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So Bill Burr comes back and goes, they had a Chili's there. I forget if we have the clip or not, but he's like, oh my God, they had Chili's and McDonald's. And I thought, this place can't be so bad. Really, Bill? We have all that shit, and you managed to criticize our government all the fucking time.
The Saudi Public Investment Fund. Everyone, get to know that name because they will own us all soon. They just bought EA Sports. Their whole point is to westernize.
They own us already. Maybe not. The paperwork might not all be done yet, but if this is proof of anything, they own us already.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Live, all this other stuff. Forget. They can burn billions. Like, there's a rumor that they're trying to get into college football, and that's the scariest thing ever because they could walk up to, like, Delaware and be like, here's $1 billion. Go get players.
That's when it hits home for kids.
Oh, that hurts me. That hurts me.
Although I'm doing the same thing. I'm like,
yes,
you are. Now you've really done it, Saudi Arabia.
Once it touches home, that's when we get interested.
It murdered. They all loved it.
It murdered. No, they murdered Bill. Yes. They murdered Jamal Khashoggi. So again, I try not to get on my high horse about that shit because I'm ignorant to a lot of it. But it's like to ignore that is really at least like. And again, maybe I'm being presumptuous, but I think when Mark Normand and DeStefano and these guys come back and start doing podcasts, I think there will be a little self-deprecation about it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is Bill saying, I crushed over there. It was what a lovely time. And make sure you check out the Chili's after the show. It was glorious.
Tip your waitress in the burqas. Yeah, the one in the burqa.
Yeah,
fuck it.
Yeah, Bill, I'm sure they'd be thrilled with your relationship. I'm sure if you and your wife were raised there, you would have lived in bliss. They would have had no problem with it at all. It would have been lovely.
Doing my act. So I did my act. Did the whole thing, and I had to stop a couple times during the show. I was like going like, I'll be honest with you guys, I cannot fucking believe any of you have any idea who I am. This is really amazing. And it was just this great exchange of energy, right?
Yeah.
So at one point, you know, they know their reputation.
Say what you want about Elon Musk. This guy called Elon Musk an evil Nazi. You know what I mean? And when like, credit to Craig. When Craig was criticizing Bill Burr for that, I was like, this is what he's always done. He's called out people in power. Elon Musk is a billionaire that had some role in the government at that time, and Bill Burr is criticizing him. That's what he's always done. Meanwhile, he flies over to Saudi Arabia to go, boy, were they lovely. These were some swell fellas. Why do you think they were nice to you, Bill? Why do you think that might be?
In another world, he comes back and he's like, look at these hypocrites. I told a gay joke and look at them all laughing. Meanwhile, they're beheading people. Hypocrite. You know, like he actually uses comedy for what it's supposed to be. You know, he doesn't do that.
You know, they know their reputation. So, like, they would like...
They do know their reputation. That's why they have a public endowment fund.
Yeah. Where'd they get that pesky thing?
Mm-hmm. It's why they buy American Pie and just be like, no, we're good. Look, now we own American Pie. Yeah. We're fucked.
And by the way, I'm sure Bill would say the same thing if a white billionaire over here, if you had an interaction with him and he was a great guy, I'm sure Bill would be like, oh, then I guess I was wrong about them. My bad.
No, Peter Thiel, great guy, you know?
Yeah.
Makes a good pig.
Oh, he was nice to you at a dinner party. Oh, well then, my mistake. I thought he was evil. I think Bill Burr would be the first to tell you, evil people aren't evil every second of every day.
No, they gotta
put on a facade. Yeah.
Even evil people poop. Come on. This next one's called Thanks.
Hey, thank you, Bill. Thank you for all of this.
Yes. Thank you for America.
Thank you to everyone in Riyadh that came out. I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I could not have a better time doing shows for you guys, and it was great to experience that part of the world.
What a joke this guy is. Oh my God, did he destroy his reputation in one podcast? Mm-hmm. Like, and I've watched guys like Kyle Kalinske. Kyle Kalinski's lost his mind a little bit, but like he's right on this issue where like he's ranting and raving about how all these comics have ruined their reputation. I don't necessarily agree with that about all of them, and I'm sure a lot of you will disagree with me on that when we talk about Louis C.K. in a minute. Bill Burr, to me, has destroyed his reputation, not by going over there, with this podcast, where he said, oh, yes, I'll be a good boy, and I'll do your commercial for you. I will go over there, and I will come back, and on a podcast with however many hundreds of thousands of listeners, I will tell everyone what a lovely experience it is. Hey, you should start vacationing over there in Saudi Arabia. Riyadh it's the tops. It really is. It's the bee's knees.
World, and to be a part of the first comedy festival over there in Saudi Arabia, I think it's going to lead to a lot of positive things. So there you go. That's that. Let's do a little bit of the reads here.
The Prince would be. Oh, it's great that he goes into ads after that. By the way, how perfect is that? Perfect. So then Bill is saying, we cut it off, but he gets on there and he goes, actually, after my set, like I did that joke about the gay guy at the gym, and then the Prince of Saudi Arabia came out and said, guys, I was wrong about these gays. I was way out. Women, unmask yourselves. Show those rosy cheeks, ladies. We're so sorry about all we've done. Bill's acting like he changed anything over there. They have slaves. Am I wrong? Do they still have slaves? Am I crazy?
Go ahead and research that, Electra. I'm not going to give an answer on that without any data.
I do not know.
My guess, yes.
But I think women are pretty much, considered
mostly
slaves.
bald Irish comedians.
So nuts that he did this. We have some more Bill Burr clips here. So he does podcasts on Monday and Thursday. Do we have the next episode that he did? Where he kind of acknowledges it?
Yeah, you want the next episode? There's one here also called Destroys His Reputation.
We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
Too Lazy to Try put out a great clip that really displays his hypocrisy. But I want to hear the next episode. This is where, like I said, I thought there would be some on Monday. He would come out and go, Jesus. I did this, and it was actually like kind of a fun experience, but I totally get why people are pissed at me. Whatever. I thought there would be some acknowledgement of how ridiculous the situation is. Instead, he did a commercial. And when like I said, I went through all the comments. There's thousands of them. And when I say I couldn't find one that was pro Billy Burka, shout out Crackamico, I couldn't find a single one that was on Bill's side. So he heard the feedback on this, and he does a podcast on Thursday talking about the fucking Sox. And this is the only nod to this situation that I could find from his podcast on Thursday.
That was the number one thing when I saw when I was over in Saudi Arabia, dude. The fucking level of fast. It was literally every fast food American chain that's over there. is just serving that shit. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I don't know how they pulled off those deals.
I do.
But I
the same way they got you over there, jackass.
can tell you this, I haven't heard a word about it, which is pretty amazing to me at this point. That not one word was spoken about that is pretty amazing. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Anyway.
What a douchebag. That's all he did. So he's like, oh, yeah, a bunch of people are angry. How about addressing it? Because this is not some cancel culture bullshit. Like, this is people actually having morals and speaking out against them. Again, are some people a little grandiose? Sure. I'm sure there are some jackasses that he's hearing from as well that disagree with him. But like, this is not some fake outrage bullshit that Bill has ranted against. This is like a real thing where people are like, hey, fuck you, man, you sold out. And you don't respect your audience enough to even address that? The idea that 100% of your fans were like, fuck this guy. You don't have enough respect for them to at least acknowledge it and just go, I haven't heard anything about that. Wink, wink. What a fucking phony this guy is. And then shout out to Too Lazy to Try. I saw some other people post this as well, but I took this from Too Lazy to Try's video where he starts with this. Because if you're wondering, Mike, Bill Burr is never that directly contradicted. Sure, he talks about billionaires and things in this country. He's never like directly contradicted himself, has he? Let's see the tape.
Usher, Beyonce, and Mariah Carey actually did private New Year's gigs for $1 million. Did New Year's gigs for Gaddafi's kids. Can you fucking believe that? How much fucking money do you need to make? You know,
1.6.
You gonna take a gig where you
maybe go, like that's what Chappelle got. I don't know if Burr got that. It might have been $1 million.
Dance like a goddamn fucking clown for a mass murderer's kids. And then you take that fucking blood money and what he's done. You couldn't remember that he claimed he was behind the Pan Am bombings that killed fellow Americans. The fuck is wrong with you? The Royals loved the show. Everyone was happy. The people that were doing the festival were thrilled. And it was just this great positive thing. And I got to tell you, just to be a part of that was fucking amazing. And the comedians that I've been talking to just saying like, dude, you can feel it. They wanted it. So it was a mind-blowing experience. Definitely top 3 experiences I've ever had.
It's 2 kids, by the way. So it's like it's those 2 and Riyadh.
Fuck marriage. The wedding. Bye-bye.
Well, I don't know how much he believes in... if the wife pipes up about marriage now, he can just tell her to shut the fuck up and put her burqa on. Mm-hmm. Bill Burr believes in everything they're doing over there, I guess. So pretty fucking crazy to hear it that directly, where he's saying you accepted their blood money, $1 million, roughly the amount that he took. Fucking nuts. And I've never witnessed a guy just like crucify everything he ever stood for in one podcast. It really was chilling to watch. It was uncomfortable because I heard people talking about it, and I literally went with the mindset of like, people are going to disagree with me when I defend Bill Burr for this, but if I know Bill, he stood by his morals. He said something I'm going to agree with. And then I turned it on, and he loves the idea that there were chain restaurants. I don't know why you can't be an evil nation if you have a KFC. I don't know why he was so fascinated by the chain restaurants. But when I heard him saying, like, it was a great time. Yeah. And we didn't play. There's another clip we didn't play where he's like, I expected it to be, we land and the people are yelling death to America. And it's like, first of all, you still took the money? You thought that? You thought you were going to land and people were screaming death to America and you still went over there? But like, I don't even think the most racist people, I mean, maybe the most racist would be like, nah, it's the civilians, they're fucking animals over there. I think the issue is with the government, the people you accepted the money from, Bill. You know, like that's what's so crazy about all this. But fuck him. I'm done. I'm out of the Bill Burr business. I can't imagine anything he could say that would redeem his career and have anyone value anything. Like, he's going to have people that like hearing him talk about the fucking Pats. I guess that's going to be his audience, like people that bury their head in the sand. but like anyone who respects his opinion on politics or like I said, greed, any of those subjects, like he just torched all of it in one sitting. So hope it was worth it, Bill. Hope that $1 million that you would have made in 3 weeks anyways, I hope that was worth it.
Go to blindmike.net for everything Blind Mike. Look at me. I did it. Kragers did it.